Welcome back to Your Tribe. This is part 2 of our discussion focused on how to decommit to doing things that are not the highest and best use of your time. In the previous episode, we discussed strategies to determine if you want to keep doing something, stop it, or delegate it. We continue the discussion in this episode, focusing on cultivating feelings of inspiration, joy, and motivation based upon how you choose to spend your time. Life is short. If you don't care for your time, who will?
The question that comes up for me is when we're evaluating all of those hats, and funny enough, I love hats. Like downstairs, I have a whole rack of different hats, literally. But when we're evaluating all of these hats, to go with the analogy, a good question is this hat a good use of my time? Is the lawn, the gutters are a thing right now. So is it good use of my husband's time to get a ladder and clean out the gutters, or can we just hire someone to clean out the freaking gutters? Because during that time, he can do something that he's really good at and that will probably generate money rather than him wasting his time in chores, errands. Yeah, I don't know where that word came from, but that would be interesting to research that.
I think going back to Kendall's point too, I mean, whether we apply it in our personal lives or we apply it at work, it just makes us happier in general. So again, changing our own pattern of behavior and identifying those things that fill us with joy or fill us with passion or fill us with those things, that feeling, that feeling of, I don't want to say contentment, but that feeling of being excited and looking forward to. It reminds me of, as we get older, we start to go down this path of nostalgia. And so for me, I jam to the 80s a lot. I've got my little speaker here. I've got one in the kitchen. So I'm an 80s girl. I was born in the 70s. So the 80s music is big. And it just brings back this feeling of happiness and joy. And you think of the cars back then. And then so we talk about people in midlife crises and the cars that taken back to their teen years. And it's all because of this feeling of happiness and joy and not having to worry about a whole lot, even though if you think back to your teen and 20s, you worried about everything. But that's really what it's all about. We get so hung up in these patterns of behavior that we forget how to experience the simple joys that make us happy. So I think as we, talk on this theme of just stop, just think of these things that are easy to delegate, or think of these things that we don't necessarily enjoy doing, and how do you stop doing it without making yourself feel guilty or lazy or whatever it is the negative self-talk tells ourselves. But how do you just stop?
I've been listening to this book. I don't know what the actual name of the book is, but it's by Gabby Bernstein. And she talks a lot about joy. And essentially, like one of the points that she made, which I think goes along with this, is that culturally, I don't know if it's a US culture thing or a human culture thing, but in some ways we've been taught and we believe that we must work hard in order for good things to happen. And good things can happen without working so hard. Like we think that good things, it has to be through the struggle, it has to be through the pain, it has to be through hurt for good things to happen. But good things can happen without it being hard. And so I just think about the things that I think sometimes we do take on the chores because we think that's what we have to do. That's what adulting is. That's what being owning something is, where it's also, I mean, where's the joy in that? I mean, there's so much going on in the world right now. And if you feel like you're in the robot of work or the hamster wheel of every morning, it's a new morning, you've gotten lost. And again, what we talked about in the last episode is purpose and meaning. And if at the end of the day, we're all here for a purpose, we're all here for a reason. This world exists and communities and people exist for a reason. And so reconnecting back with that and what makes you joyful, and then not having to essentially think that you're punishing yourself to do things that you just really don't enjoy or that really just take the joy out of life.
The laundry. I hate doing laundry, and I hate the grocery store too, Kendall.
Can I add to that list? absolutely despise going to the post office and gassing up the car. That is the biggest time suck ever. I do not understand why we have to do that, and therefore I don't do it. So
I really hate taking out the trash. But unfortunately, my dog doesn't have thumbs, so I actually have to do that.
on the flip side, though, I love having connection. I love having connection with my clients. I love having connection with my family. Like my daughter's coming in 10 days, not even, from Germany, and she'll be here for 10 days or close to 10 days. So I love having that connection, and I actually love planning. I'm a big planner. You know, if I can plan who's coming to clean the gutters, who's coming to clean the house, who's coming to do the dishes, the laundry, the grocery shopping, the gas, filling the gas tank, going to the post office, all of those things, I'm a happy camper because I get to plan all of that. And if that's your thing, if you like planning, then go do that. Like Kendall said, do what makes your cup full.
Thank you for spending a few minutes with Your Tribe. Your Tribe provides different perspectives from our unique view of the world as pioneers, trailblazers, go-getters, professionals, leaders, friends, and so much more. Our discussions span from leadership, business, relationships, and personal growth, and everything in between. Do you have a topic you want to discuss with Your Tribe? Submit a topic by emailing Kendall Rawls at kendall@rawlsgroup.com. We will love your feedback and contribution. Your Tribe is produced by the Rawls Group Business Succession Planners.